Abdullah ibn Abi Saleh, he says that I was very sick. Tawus came to my house and visited me when I was sick, and I asked him to pray for me, to make dua. He said, make dua for yourself, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers the dua of the people in distress. And he recited the following verses, أَمَّنْ يُجِيبُ مُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ, who answers the one in distress when he makes dua, except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And finally, brothers in Islam, one of the sheikhs, he says that one of the brothers, his 2-year-old daughter was blind. Her eyes, they move, but she does not see anything. He says, I took her to all the doctors, and they told me she cannot be helped. There's a problem with the connection to the brain. The nerve is not broadcasting, is not sending a signal. So your daughter will remain blind for like this. So he says, I became very sad. I became very distraught. And I asked one of my friends for advice. He told me, you've gone to all the creation. Why don't you go to the Lord of the creation? Why don't you go to the Creator? He says, therein, I started making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single time that I get, I make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therein, one day, on Friday, the day we're in today, after Asr, I was making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, crying like a baby, beseeching Allah, supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, my wife took my daughter to the bathroom to have a bath. She comes after a short while screaming, exclaiming, and she's out of her mind. She says, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I wonder what is wrong. My wife, Mother Bik, what is wrong, my dear wife? She says, لَقَدْ رَدَّ اللَّهُ بَصَرَ إِبْنَتِكَ. Allah has returned the eyesight of your daughter. Allah has returned the eyesight of your daughter. Therein, this brother, he performed the sujood al-shukr. Some people might see these stories as being strange. But if you see your own self, your own friends and your family, there's a time you had a problem, a difficulty, you asked Allah and He answered you. Allah always responds to the dua.